Hi everybody. My girlfriend makes fun of me because of the way I drink from water bottles. But it's like I use my tongue to find the holes so that I don't spill water on myself. Okay, I'll stop. So several of my recent videos have been about gear. And so I wanted to make a video to sort of compensate. Now I'm not gonna sit here and say that gear doesn't matter, because it does in a lot of ways. It excites us, it gets us up and inspires us to shoot. Sometimes you're hired for a shoot and you need a specific piece of gear in order to get the shot that you want. You're all probably watching this video because of a video I made about gear or something related to gear. Maybe not, who knows? It's a thing. And we all like to say that gear doesn't matter. We like to hear ourselves say that, right? But when we say that, do we always believe it? Do we always trust? Is there that voice in our head that's saying, oh, but if you had that new lens, your pictures would be a little bit better? You watch these videos and it's like, I need that thing, I want that thing. I think one way to remind ourselves that it's not about gear is to go back to where we started. I want to talk about a camera that I started on, which is the Canon Rebel T2i. So this camera is a camera that didn't cost me anything. It was in my sister's closet. She gave me the Canon Rebel T2i with the kit lens. I don't honestly even remember what the kit lens was, because really early on, I just bought my 40mm 2.8 pancake lens for like $120 or something from Best Buy with one of their coupons. And I just used that prime. And I used that for about a year, and I actually made some money using that camera shooting portraits. And more than that, I made some of my most memorable and favorite photos using that combination that cost basically nothing. So I want to look back through some of these pictures and talk about how, while the gear that I feature on my channel a lot, the X Pro 3, the EOS R6, the EOS R, these are newer cameras, and luckily they're getting less and less expensive, but they're still relatively expensive if you're starting out in photography. And you shouldn't feel like just because everyone on YouTube is using something that you can't get started or that photography is unattainable. Having really expensive new gear is a luxury, and I recognize that. That's why I'm so excited about my X Pro 3 all the time, or the R6. That's why I love testing out these cameras. It's super exciting, and I love gear videos and I watch tons of them. I just wanted to make this video because I felt a little bit guilty for talking about these camera systems the past couple of weeks without saying that you don't need this stuff to make photos, and you certainly don't need any of this stuff to learn photography. Sometimes not having a lot of gear or having simple gear can be really artistically fulfilling, because you learn how to use your camera and your lens and get the most out of it. Find creative solutions if you come up with problems, because you don't have another lens that you can reach for. You don't have another camera body that you can reach for. So let's look at some of these photos. I'll tell you a little bit about them as we go through, and you can make up your own mind about what you think. I'd love to hear from you in the comments, let me know. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. I do appreciate that. It's been so great to just hear from all of you and get so many comments the past couple of weeks. I'm just like super enjoying that, so thank you. So let's look at the photos. All right, so here we are in Lightroom. I have a little collection of photos that I took mostly back in 2017. Most of these were taken with the 40mm pancake lens. I think this one up here is the only one that was taken with the kit lens. And I said I didn't remember what that was, so we can look and see. EFS 18 to 135mm, f3.5 to 5.6 image stabilized. Now, these images that you're seeing are all JPEG files. They were edited in Lightroom and exported and archived, and I've brought them just back in here to view as we go through them. So I'm not gonna bore you too much with too many details, but I do wanna just show you the quality that I was getting with the Canon Rebel T2i. This is the Santa Barbara coastline. It's a pretty good amount of detail. This is my friend Dan. There's a lot of detail when you zoom in here. It's clear and crisp. There's nice contrast. Of course, these are edited. This is a photo of my friend Patty that we took on Stearns Wharf here in Santa Barbara. Obviously heavily processed. Probably wouldn't use these colors now. It's like very pink, stylized. There's grain that I've added, but I was so proud of this picture when I took this picture, and you know, it's a good photo. I mean, for what it is, editing aside. This is my friend Yuan. This was just outside on the bluffs, and I was shooting from a low angle and sort of blew out the sky to make this, but I was like thrilled that I was able to do this on my camera. This is my sister. We saw this a little bit earlier. And this was just this art installation with these really fun colored bikes, and I just shot through the bikes. And again, this was shot with the 40mm, and that's the bokeh that you're getting from that 40mm. You can shoot through things, which is something I love. And again, this is at f2.8. You're still getting these nice out of focus area that you can shoot through. Here's one of my friend Amanda. I was exploring a lot with grain, so there's pretty heavy grain in this, but I think all in all this is a pretty solid image. Same with this one. I loved this picture. This is our first shoot together. She's amazing. But again, look at this out of focus area back here. She looks amazing. I took this camera combination with me to Graz, Austria when I did a summer singing festival there and shot some in the city. This is an example of shooting through things. Here we have this out of focus gate at Auer, which is a little coffee shop and bakery. This is the Hauptplatz, more sort of street photography here in Austria. This is my friend Maren. We did a photo shoot. Here are some shots of her in Graz. The backlit shot here, so much detail and contrast with this little camera. 18 megapixel sensor, but there's still so much detail there. It's really amazing. Here again, I mean, look at these photos. Like, I was thrilled with the images I was getting with this little camera. Here she is again. This is my friend Visno. And this was just a natural light shot, sort of impromptu at our opening night gala in Graz. This is in Salzburg, shooting through a fence with locks on it. So again, more example of this sort of out of focus effect that you can get with the 40mm. Some more examples here of portraits. Just really crisp, clean, beautiful files, even backlit. You still have a lot of contrast. More examples of having that sort of out of focus area that you can play around with. And that's Clemens. He is an agent that I photographed indoors with a flash. My first time using flash, I was so nervous about the shoot. And looking back on it, I mean, the photos are okay, but he was happy with them. Anyway, so those are some examples of images taken on the Canon Rebel T2i. I just wanted to make this video to say, while the Canon Rebel T2i and the 40mm lens are not new, not super expensive, it's all you need to learn photography. It's how I learned photography. It's what excited me about photography. It led me to where I am with photography today. It's a combination that I did not spend a lot of money on. It's a combination that I knew nothing about before starting. It was just something that was available to me, and I used it for a long time, and I made some money, and I developed a passion for photography. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope this has helped you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Love is free, coming